you do that? What the hell is going on?
Ladies and gentlemen, I've had this wagon pack for like, probably going on like a month now, and it is killing me. We are finally building it. It's a snowy day, so yeah, I assume I speak for quite a few people when I say I'm currently snowed in, so I figured what better time to catch up on some projects and build some little, you know, easy trucks than right now. And ladies and gentlemen, again, we have this little bolster wagon pack, which, let's see if I can get all these pieces together. There we go. And I don't believe this is the first time I've built some Pecco kits here on the channel. If you remember the Engage Circus wagons, those were also Pecco kits, but it's been a while, so let's just go over it one more time and do this together, I guess. So when you're dealing with a Pecco Engage wagon kit, you're not really dealing with a very complex kit. As you can see here, we've got little weights, we've got the chassis, we've got the body or upper portion of the trucks. Again, it's pretty basic, and thankfully, you know, since it's Engage, most of the detail is already present on the pieces. So here's the chassis. Already got the rivet work, already got the brake rigging, the buffers are applied. The only thing you really have to do here is put it together, add the coupler, and add the wheels. So, again, it's very welcoming. If you're not really the most acquainted with model train kits, I could still recommend the Pecco kits to you. They're really not that hard. And in this one, in terms of the body, you're going to have four main parts, that being the chassis. We've got the weight here, we've got the top body, and this little piece here, which will make the bolster wagon a bolster wagon. And of course, in this bag, you've got couplers, you've got little nuts, you've got the wheels. Yeah, just pretty basic stuff. So with all that being said, let's get to assembling these things. Now, one of the things I really like about these kits is not only are they very small, but this is a part of the packaging, and it straight up tells you how to put this thing together. It's, I don't know, I just think that's neat. I think that's novel. And also the instructions are very, very easy to follow. Like, it tells you to remove any flash. That's the maybe excess plastic that would be on these and not make them look so crisp or clean, if that makes any sense. And the pictures it shows are also very easy to follow. So you shouldn't have a hard time putting these things together, especially since when you look at it, it's kind of, I don't know, I just feel like this is basic. Please do not ever approach these thinking they are difficult. Pretty much you're going to start off with just the chassis, pop on that little weight there. I'll glue that very quickly. And that's another reason I really like these bolster wagon kits. You get two, so you do get a full bolster wagon unit, but it's also two wagons instead of one. Which it makes sense, it's a bolster wagon, it should be, but you know, I'm gonna stop saying that word. I feel like I've said that like 8 times in 10 minutes. All right, so here, as you can see on the chassis and weights, we've got these two little holes here, and that is what the body, as you can see here, will slip right into. So I'm gonna take just a little bit of paint here, apply that in the general area, and that should just pop right on top. Well, not the cleanest. Oh yeah, see, it's the flush there in the middle. So let me get a hobby knife and remove that really quick. That's another thing I should mention too. If you're doing this and you're younger, maybe have your parent help you build these, because there's a good chance you'll need some hobby tools. And I'm 23 and I still don't like operating with hobby knives. It's just not fun. Trust me. Have an adult do it. And yeah, that quick. That quick, this thing is now flush and put together. So it turns out you have to remove it from the chassis, that middle part there too. I'll take this weight off. And from this. So on the chance you're building these bolster wagons, be prepared to, you might have to remove quite a bit more flush than you expected. Like, I think with the 7-plank wagons, I didn't have to remove any. It's a bit of a shock, but you know, it is what it is. It's an N-scale kit. That's really not that big of a deal. So let's go ahead and remove this part. Very slowly, very carefully. Again, ladies and gentlemen, if you're younger, you might ruin a buffer just like I did. So have your parents help you do this. God, motherfucker.
That's about the dumbest shit I've done in my life.
I keep spare buffers just in case something like this happens, though. So it's not the end of the world, but like, you know what I'm saying? Just be more careful. Don't do what I did. All right, so we'll go back and fix that here later. Let's go ahead and get this weight reapplied. Should be this way. Boom, there we go. A little bit of glue there on top of that, and let's slip on the body. There we go. And now we have at least semi, the two bodies completed. And I don't think I mentioned this here at the beginning, but the body here and the chassis are actually molded in two kind of different colors. It's a very dark brown, so I don't know if you can even tell, but the chassis is black. The bodies are a dark brown. They're getting repainted anyway, so it's not like that really matters. But on the chance you were curious, there you go. Now, these little top pieces here should just sit on this little nub there in the middle of the wagon, like so. And they have the ability to rotate, just like a real bolster wagon should. You can glue those down if you want to. I think, yeah, that's got a pretty good grip. It's not falling off or anything like that. Once I go to paint it, it'll probably stick a little bit, but I don't know. I might take that off when I actually go to paint, but there is that, just in case anybody was curious if they had any motion. It appears they do. And boom, just like that, ladies and gentlemen, we've got the bodies prepared. And again, I do have to go back and fix those buffers, but I'll do that here in a second. I also just realized I didn't apply the... I gotta take the bodies back off. I didn't put on the couplers yet. I was going way too quick. So let's pop these off while we still can. Wonderful. And correct that mistake. This has just been, you know, it's a lazy day. It's a lazy day, so I'm not all there. It's fine. It's a snow day. This is one of those relaxation days, and it's not being so relaxing, I guess, but it's okay. Let's go ahead and apply these couplers. It's very basic. You straight up just take it, pop it right on in, just like that, and then put on the body. Don't forget to do the other side. All right, there we go. Now we've got the couplers applied to both bolster wagons. That's pretty much the body's complete. Now we got the wheels, which will slip into the bottom of the chassis, or I actually might hold off on that and wait until these things are spray painted to finally pop in the wheels. But we also have these little nuts here, and these are applied here at the bottom. I might need to get my tweezers out. You put these here on the bottom nubs, screw them on a little bit, and that'll just keep the top body onto the chassis. It's kind of just like a bit of extra security, but if you've been gluing these like I have, you don't really need to worry about that. It's just kind of an optional thing if you choose to. Put that there, and with that, ladies and gentlemen, I think the only thing that's left is fixing that buffer, which I'm probably gonna have to do both buffers so they actually match and he doesn't have one like really weird one. Oh boy, let's go ahead and get on that. All right, and just like that, finally, we have fixed the buffers. As you can see there, the ones here are quite a bit larger now than the normal ones, but hey, that's okay. At least they actually match. The wagons are pretty much complete now, at least in terms of assembly. Again, we don't have the wheels in. I'm not really gonna apply these nuts because you don't really have to, but I think now that's, yeah, at this point, all that's left is taking these outside and priming them and painting them, and I'm probably gonna have to give it a day because there's snow literally everywhere, but it's okay, we will get to that. So I'm just gonna stop talking and we'll flash to when I'm actually painting these. All right, quick note, real quick, just real quick. You might be wondering why I'm painting these with the couplers in if I'm not painting them with the wheels in, and that's because sometimes not only does the paint cause the wheels to not roll very well, but I don't really mind if the couplers end up the same color as the body. In fact, I kind of prefer that, since with N-scale or N-gauge, these couplers are so large and obnoxious when compared to, like, say, HO scale or something like that. I find it's just, I don't know, it fits the vibe a little bit more, or looks a little bit more appropriate with the completely painted van. Like, here's a good example. Look at this little van here, right? These couplers are weathered with the van, and it just, I don't know, I feel like that looks a lot more appropriate than if they were just, you know, black and stood out. I don't know if that makes any sense. Hopefully that explains that, in case anybody was curious. All right, back to the painting. All right, we're back. Everything's painted, as you can see here, even the wheels. And now I have to apply those wheels to the body, and we can call this project complete, finally. All right, and boom. Does it roll well? And test the other one. And just like that, boom, ladies and gentlemen, we have two completed Pecco bolster wagons. And yeah, I made it a little bit more complicated than it needed to be, but we finally made it to the end, and these things are built, and we did it. So that's all you need to worry about. We're here, we're done. So when it came to painting these things, I kind of had a bit of a hard time because there really aren't any examples I could find of single bolster wagons being used on Sodor in any capacity, in any cannon. So I kind of just had a little bit of fun here. We've got the bolster itself here in a darker brown. We've got the wood planks all painted up to actually look like wood, and for the body itself, it's kind of a blue-green, darker blue, and of course the chassis in a matte black with a little bit of weathering, just like the wheels. The weathering itself is done with a bit of a darker brown, and yeah, I guess with all that being said, that completes the Pecco N-gauge bolster wagons, or my making of 2 of them, which was way more complicated than it needed to be. But hey, on the chance you're doing something similar, hopefully this video serves up as an example of things to do and to maybe not do. And I guess with all of that being said, the only thing left to do is take these things to the layout and see how they operate with a locomotive behind them or in front of them. Probably both. I do a lot of shunting.
Either subscribe, donate, or get the fuck out.